In this video, I'm going to follow up on my last video about exponents. So today we're talking about multiplying numbers with exponents. Before we get started, I'd just like to point out that over 90% of you viewers are not subscribed to the channel. So if you don't mind, please subscribe. It's free and you can always change your mind at any time. Let's get on with the video. So when you're multiplying exponents, there's only one general rule of thumb that you have to follow. The bases have to be the same. So if I had something like x raised to the a power multiplied by x raised to the b power, then the answer would be x raised to the a plus b power. Now notice, this only works when the bases are the same. So, for example, if I had 4 squared times 5 to the third power, I couldn't just say that this is 4 to the 2 plus 3 power or 5 to the 2 plus 3 power. And as a matter of fact, I couldn't even say it's 20 to the 2 plus 3 power. All of those are wrong. So if you have something like this, you just can't do that using this trick. You just have to expand. So using 4 squared, which is 16, times 5 to the third power, which is 125. You just have to do this, and then you would know that this is 2000. But anyway, if this is our formula, then it shouldn't be too hard to follow. For example, if I asked you 4 to the 7th times 4 to the 3rd, then according to this formula, you should know that it's 4 to the 7 plus 3 power. And we know 7 plus 3 is obviously 10, so it's 4 to the 10th power. Now, if necessary, you can expand this, so you would actually have to find 4 to the 10th power. But in most cases, especially in school, when you're doing these types of problems, the teachers expect you to know the main principle underlying this equation, which is that you need to have the same base when you're multiplying and using this trick, and that you just add the exponents. So, knowing that, let's do a few example problems. So here I have 2 to the 4th times 2 squared. So we're going to do this both ways so that I can show you that this trick really does work. It's not really a trick, but it works nonetheless. So if we were to use that formula that I mentioned before, this would be 2 to the 4 plus 2 power. We know that 4 plus 2 is 6, so 2 to the 6th power is 64. Now let's prove it using the way we know best, which is just expanding. So let's work with the first term, 2 to the 4th power. I know that that's 16. Next, I'm going to multiply with 2 squared. 2 squared is just 2 times 2, which is 4. So now I have 16 times 4. That's 64. So there you go, 64. That's our answer. Let's do another question. So here I have 3 to the 3rd power times 3 to the 4th power. So first, we're going to use the trick, and then we're going to do it in the expanded form. So if I use that formula that I mentioned before, this should just be 3 raised to the 3 plus 4 power. We know that 3 plus 4 is 7, so I can just rewrite that as 3 to the 7th power. And now I can calculate that. Now, if you didn't know the answer to this, that's okay, because I had to use a calculator as well, and chances are, most likely, you will be allowed to use a calculator as well if you're working with numbers this large. But anyway, the answer to this would be 2,187. Now let's do it the expanded way. So first I'm going to take 3 to the 3rd power, which I know is 27. Then I'm going to take 3 to the 4th power. 3 to the 4th power is just going to be 27 times 3, which is 81. So now I have 27 times 81. And I'm going to do this in the expanded way, like I enjoy doing, and I'm going to multiply that. So first up, I have 7, and then I have 56, because 7 times 8 is 56. Then with a 2, I have 162. And so if I just add everything, I have 11 here, so I'm going to carry the 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So my answer is, once again, 2,187. So that shows that this formula really does work. Now let's do one more practice problem. So for this final problem, I have 5 times 5 squared times 5 cubed times 5 raised to the 4th power. Now let's do this using both methods that I've been doing. So first, for the shortcut method, we can treat this first 5 right here as 5 raised to the 1st power. So in that case, I just have to add up all the exponents, which would just be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 6 plus 4 is 10. So I have 5 raised to the 10th power, and I can solve for that. And like I said before, you won't be expected to know this off the top of your head because the answer is actually 9,765,625. Now let's try using the expanded method. So if we were to do that, I would just have 5 times 5 squared, which is 25, times 5 cubed, which is 125, times 5 to the 4th, which is 625. And to spare us the time of having to solve this out through long multiplication, I'm just going to say that the answer is, once again, 9,765,625. You can check this on your calculator if you don't believe me, but if you do, then that shows that this formula really does work. And so that's basically the key to multiplying exponents. This can get a little more tricky when we're working with fractions, but I'll probably cover that in another video. If you went on to enjoy this video, please give it a like down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.